What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Sports Mania. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a mock draft 3.0. And let me move my camera. As most of us know, there was a recent trade, a big trade, where the Dolphins traded pick 3 to the Dolphins for pick 12. The Dolphins went back to pick 12, and then they traded up to pick 6 with the Eagles. Now, the Eagles have pick 12, Dolphins have pick 6, and the 49ers have pick 3. I think it's a big trade, and I think it's a sign that the 49ers are going after a quarterback. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. The Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars, it's obvious. And then now for the Jets. I think the Jets have to go Zach Wilson right here. I think Zach Wilson is very good, and I think he's a very, very mobile quarterback who can throw outside the pocket, make dead-eye throws outside the pocket. He was very good at BYU. And I think he's a bit better than Justin Fields. Pick 3, the 49ers, they moved up, and I think they moved up for a quarterback. And are they going Trey Lance? Or are they going – it depends. Are they going Trey Lance, or are they going Justin Fields? Justin Fields, I mean, the negatives, of course, he doesn't always find the center fielder, which results in interceptions, and he has slow process time. I think they got to go Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance, despite going to a lower school, is a better quarterback. I think Justin Fields is faster, but just because you're faster doesn't mean you're more mobile. And I think Trey Lance is more mobile than Justin Fields. So, and then pick 4, I got a trade. I think it's an interdivision trade. And the Falcons may be stupid for doing this because they're trading inside the division. But I think it could happen. I'm going to have the Panthers trade up to pick 4. The Panthers trade pick 8, pick 73, and then next year 4th for the 4th overall pick. Does this go through? It was declined. All right, we'll try it again. Panthers trade with the Atlanta Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons. Why don't we try pick 8, pick 8, pick 73? And the next year 2nd, and the next year 4th to move up 4 spots. If this is declined, I don't know what's wrong with this. All right, I don't know what's wrong with this. I genuinely don't. Let me try it one more time. I don't know why it's like impossible to make trades. All right, so let's get the 49ers. I mean the Falcons. So pick 8, pick 39, and next year 2nd, and a next year 4th to move up 4 spots. All right, it has been accepted. All right, back to the video. Pick 4, Panthers are going Justin Fields. The Panthers are sold on Justin Fields. I think the Patriots are the most sold on Justin Fields, but I don't see Bill Belichick using all their assets to go up 10 spots, 11 spots. But I think Justin Fields would sit behind Teddy B for a little bit, and then he would come in later in the season. The Bengals at pick 5. They got to go Penei Sewell. Their offensive line is atrocious. Jonah Williams is pretty good. But Penei Sewell, there's a lot of question how he'll do on the pro level. But I just think Penei Sewell, with the lack of experience, will still be fine in the NFL. So I think Penei Sewell, great pickup right there, and hopefully he can help protect Joe Burrow. Pick 6, the Dolphins. Dolphins are going to go wide receiver. And if a wide receiver's on the board, why not take one? Let's reunite Tua Tagovailoa with Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith wasn't that big of a contributor with Tua Tagovailoa. He mainly broke out this season with Mac Jones. But I think pick 6, Devontae Smith makes a ton of sense. Pick 7, the Detroit Lions. I think they got to go receiver. And who are they going? Are they going a deep threat like Jalen Waddle, or are they going a guy like Jamar Chase? And I think either one is fine. I think Jamar Chase is a lot like a mix of Devontae Adams and has a high ceiling of like Devontae Adams, Julio Jones. So I think they go Jamar Chase. I think they go Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle, despite getting injured this year, is definitely the better route runner, and he's got amazing footwork. And I think just if Devontae Smith wasn't on the Alabama offense, I think Waddle could have had a season similar to him if he never got hurt, of course. Pick 8, the Falcons, they moved down. They're not taking a quarterback right here. And people are going to question this, but I'm going to have them go an edge rusher, and I'm going to have them go Jalen Phillips. And people are going to be like, Jalen Phillips? I know, it's weird. And I could definitely see them going Kwity Paye. 100%. I see them going Rosu or Kwity Paye, wherever Kwity Paye is. Kwity Paye. Maybe Rosu. But I think Jalen Phillips is the best, most underrated defensive player in this class. And people don't acknowledge him because he opted out this season. And Jalen Phillips, he played 2 seasons at UCLA, and then he transferred to Miami. And Jalen Phillips, when healthy in 2019, was outstanding. And I think Jalen Phillips, if he didn't opt out, would have had a season like Micah Parsons, JOK, Gregory Rosu, Kwity Paye, Azeez Ojulari. But I think Jalen Phillips would be a good pick, and you guys can say less, but I think Jalen Phillips is a good pick. Pick 9. I think the Broncos will go with a defensive cornerback, and despite getting Kyle Fuller, do they though? They got Kyle Fuller, and they got Ronald Darby. I don't think they're taking a corner in the first round. So I think they're going to go Micah Parsons. I think after what we've seen in free agency, they have Darby and they have Fuller. They filled their cornerback need. They're not going to draft the best corner in the class just to be a number 3 guy. They can go get that in the second round or third round. Micah Parsons, a steal for them. They need linebacker pad. I mean, Von Miller expected to get cut. He may have already been cut, but he's more of an edge rusher. And then of course Bradley Chubb, more of an outside linebacker. In pick 10, I'm going to have the Cowboys going cornerback because I think they need cornerback a lot more. And they're going to go Patrick Surtain. And I think Patrick Surtain was outstanding at Alabama, the best cornerback in college football. And I think it's expected for them. And if they don't go Surtain, I think they'll go Rosu or they'll go Rashawn Slater. The Giants at pick 11, Jamar Chase is there. Take Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase makes a ton of sense. And I think if Jamar Chase is there, why pass up on him? They're expecting to get Jalen Waddle, but I think the Lions would take Waddle over Chase. And then pick 12, I'm going to have the Eagles go Kyle Pitts. And there's question why. And I say why because I don't think there's no guaranteed Zach Ertz is staying healthy. There's no guarantee that Dallas Goedert's staying healthy. There's no guarantee that any player on that team is staying healthy. And I think a lot like the rumors of George Kittle, Kyle Pitts going to play with George Kittle. Kyle Pitts can play in the slot, and I know he's a tight end, but he is outstandingly athletic, and he is a versatile weapon. But Kyle Pitts doesn't need to play at tight end. He can play at receiver. He can probably play. I mean, I relate him a lot to like a mix of maybe George Kittle and like Travis Kelce, Gerald Everett, that kind of stuff. But I think Kyle Pitts, I don't expect Zach Ertz to be healthy. I think Pitts would be a great fit. And then pick 13, Rashawn Slater. Did they go Rashawn Slater? The Chargers filled in their center need with Corey Linsley, who's a great center. But I think it's between Darisaw and Slater. I think they'll go Slater because I think Slater is pro ready, and I think he can have an immediate impact like guys like Mekhi Becton had last season. And I think the Chargers are really just focusing on protecting Justin Herbert because we know they have the receivers. We know they have a good defensive line, and we know they have a good secondary. But they just need offensive line. Pick 14, I think the Vikings are going. They could go Darisaw. I could see them going Darisaw, but I'm going to have them going Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. He was a great player for USC, and I think Tucker would be great for them because Kirk Cousins, if you give Kirk Cousins time, he's not going to make bad decisions, and he's going to make great decisions, and he's going to make good reads, and he's going to win you games because we all know he's had 4,000-yard seasons. He had 35 touchdowns this year, and they just need to protect Kirk. I mean, Thielen's great. Justin Jefferson's great. And then, of course, they got Well, they lost Kyle Rudolph, but they have Irv Smith. But I think Elijah Vera Tucker is the need. And I'm going to have the Patriots actually going. The Patriots is really tough, man. Do they fill in that much needed pass coverage linebacker in JOK? Do they go in edge Gregory Rose? I don't think they go edge. Do they go? This is really tough, man. They could go Rashad Bateman because Rashad Bateman was very impressive. But I think they gotta go Mac Jones, man. I think Mac Jones is where is he? I think Mac Jones is a little overrated just because of the fact that I don't know where Mac Jones is. All right, there he is. I think he's a little overrated, and people are saying he's the next Tom Brady. No, he's not. He had godlike receivers to throw to, and a godlike offensive line, and an amazing running back. I mean, you put him on a team like Tennessee or Kentucky or Missouri. He's not going to do that well. And I don't think Mac Jones is bad. I'm not hating on Mac Jones, but I think I think Bill Belichick could make him into the type of guy where he can put up great stats thrown to nothing. I think the Patriots can prioritize receiver in the second round. I don't think they need to go. I don't think they need to go receiver because Aguilar they got, and then of course they got Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, and then they got Jacoby Myers, who has a ton of potential. But I think Mac Jones, he can sit behind Cam Newton for the year. If Cam Newton does awful, put Jones in. And then 16, J.C. Horn. 16, the Cardinals, I gave it away. J.C. Horn makes the most sense because J.C. Horn, the Cardinals need a cornerback bad. And when you count in the fact they did lose Patrick Peterson, J.C. Horn could be that replacement. And then they have Budda Baker, they have Byron Murphy. They got a pretty good secondary. They're just missing like a number 2 corner. J.C. Horn though, 17th pick, I'm gonna have the Raiders go JOK. JOK is a little undersized. Jeremiah Cormoa. He's a little undersized. He's not a little undersized. For a linebacker, he's undersized. But he can pass coverage great. And I think he could even play safety. They lost Marcus Joyner, and he's a good run stopper. He's a good run supporter, and he's a great pass coverage linebacker. And that's what the Raiders are missing. They don't have a defense. They added Yannick Ngakwe, but I think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah would be great. The 18th pick, I don't think the Dolphins go running back right here. Many people are saying that. I don't think they go receiver either. I think they got to go Gregory Rousseau because Gregory Rousseau, he's been trending lately, and people have him going very high now. But even though he opted out, but I still think Rousseau, despite opting out, is a great player, and the Dolphins need defensive help. I mean, let's be honest. They don't have defense. They lost Kyle Van Noy. I think Rosu could immediately fill in for Van Noy. They don't have a defense, all right? They have a great secondary. Byron Jones is okay. Xavier Howard is amazing. Eric Rowe is okay. I don't even know if Eric Rowe's on the team anymore. But they need a front seven, and Rosu could help that. Pick 19, the Washington football team, they have Fitzmagic and they have Taylor Heinicke, the 2 greatest quarterbacks of all time. They don't need anyone else. Washington football team, they got their second option in Curtis Samuel. I think they got to stick with offense, though. And is it going tight end? No. Is it going a third option at receiver? Maybe. I just think this one's really tough. I think they could go Davis Mills. Defense, linebacker, Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley is still here. I'm going to have them go. No, they got William Jackson, though. I'm going to actually have them go offense, and I'm going to have them go Rashad Bateman. And people are going to question why I have them going Rashad Bateman. Actually, no, I'm going to have them go offensive line, and I'm going to have them go in with Christian Darrisaw because I think they need to protect Taylor Heinicke and Fitzmagic, and I don't think Morgan Moses is good. So I think Christian Darrisaw would be a good player right there for pick 19. I don't think they need – really, I think that they don't need anything else. Pick 20, the Bears. The Bears have an atrocious draft in off-season. they really just they were rumors. Oh, Russell Wilson, and then they get Andy Dalton. I think they're crazy to start Dalton over Nick Foles, but I think they will. I don't think they need to go quarterback. I think if they want to reach for Davis Mills, I'm fine with that. Maybe Kellen Mond. But they have to go with an offensive lineman because they don't have an offensive line. Offensive guard Trey Smith, I really like. Um, I don't really like anyone else. I really like Trey Smith, but I don't think he's a first round talent guy. I really, really like what Samuel Cosmi brings to the table for Texas. I think they need an offensive tackle bad. They don't have a good offensive line whatsoever. And the problem last year was they weren't protecting Mitch and they weren't protecting Foles. And Bears fans will blame it on Nick Foles. They'll blame it on Mitchell Trubisky. Blame them all you want. You give Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky the Patriots offensive line or the 49ers offensive line, they'll be Pro Bowl quarterbacks. They don't have help, they don't have receivers, they don't have tight ends, they don't have an offensive line. I guess they have Allen Robinson. And then 21, the Colts are going to get a steal right here, and they're going to go with Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman ran a very fast 40-yard dash time, and I think definitely he brings a ton to the table. He's a decently sized receiver. He's got speed. He's a deep threat. He can play in the slot. Bateman brings it all to the table, and at Minnesota, he was insanely good. And I think the Colts, they need a second option. They need a first option. I expect T.Y. Hilton to leave. I expect T.Y. Hilton gone by the draft. And I don't think Michael Pittman proved himself to be a number two, not even a number three wide receiver, maybe a number three. But I think that Rashad Bateman could be a lot like Justin Jefferson and make an impact immediately. 22, the Titans is tough because what did the Titans go with right here? They don't need running back. I think they could use edge, even though they brought in Bud Dupree and they have Harold Landry. But since they lost their guy, Malcolm Butler, the Super Bowl hero Patriots, I'm going to have them go Caleb Farley. And they lost Desmond King. They lost Malcolm Butler. They could really use a cornerback to go along with Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard's a safety. But I think Caleb Farley falling to 22 is questionable. I think J.C. Horn's better than Caleb Farley. Right, saying it right here, right now, and Patrick Surtain's much better than Caleb Farley. But I think it's necessary for them to go with Caleb Farley right here to fill in. And pick 23, I think the Jets could go edge. I think edge would be a good pick. Carl Lawson's actually very good. They could go defensive tackle. They could go running back. I think they will go edge, though. I think they got to go. This is tough. I'm going to actually have them go Najee Harris just because they don't have a running back. They don't. All right. They have Corey Davis. They brought in Corey Davis this year. I think they still have Jameson Crowder, and they got rid of Brashad Perriman. But Najee Harris, he's a good player, and he was outstanding at Alabama. And you put Zach Wilson in Alabama and Najee Harris into an offense immediately. It's completely revamped. I don't think the defense is awful. I think Marcus May is great. Quinnen Williams is good. Blake Cashman's developing. Ashton Davis is developing. And then, of course, newly addition Carl Lawson. Pick 24, the Steelers. The Steelers got to go quarterback, but it's too early to go. I think Kellen Mond, they could go. I think they could go Kellen Mond. I think, I don't know how I feel about them going. I'm going to actually have them go with a offensive lineman, and I think that I'm going to have them go with Trey Smith. And Trey Smith, people can doubt, but Trey Smith is outstanding. Trey Smith is the most underrated player in this class other than Jalen Phillips and other than Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think Trey Smith, I said it before, I don't think he's first-round talent, but I definitely could see him sneak into the first round. And I don't think Trey Smith is a second-round player. I just don't think he has the potential to be a first-round player. How you could relate this to is I don't think Rashawn Slater is a top 5 pick. even though he's still a great player. But I see the Steelers going Trey Smith over Leatherwood. Um, Pick 25, I think the Jaguars, they got to go defense, and why not go a guy, Christian Barmore out of Alabama? Christian Barmore is a outstanding pass rusher out of Alabama, and it just makes sense. I mean, they don't really have any defensive line help. They got Clavion Chason and Josh Allen, who are good, but they could really use a defensive tackle. Tavon Bryan isn't good, and Christian Barmore could be a great pick. And I think the Jags bringing in a guy like him would immediately affect their run stop, and he could really be the next Calais Campbell. Pick 27, the Browns. I think the Browns will go I think they'll go Gregory Newsome, and I think they'll go Gregory Newsome because I think he is the most standout corner in the draft class, other than the big three with, of course, Caleb Farley, of course, J.C. Horn, and of course Patrick Surtain. I think Newsome could go great with Terrence Mitchell and Denzel Ward, so he could be their nickel corner. Pick 27, the Ravens. I think the Ravens got to go receiver right here. In the picks, it's between Kadarius Toney and Terrence Marshall, but I'm gonna have them going Kadarius Toney just because of Kadarius Toney, how he can play in the Wildcat. He can play everywhere. But I think Toney's a great fit. I think he could play a lot like Willie Snead. And we don't know if Willie Snead's coming back. The Saints at pick 28, I think they got to go Zavine Collins, very underrated linebacker, and I think it would be a great pickup for them right there. They need a linebacker bad. I mean, Demario Davis, I think is more of an outside guy, so I think Zavine Collins would be good. Pick 29, the Packers. The Packers got to go corner. It's ridiculous how they re-signed Kevin King. So I think a guy like I'm not even gonna try to say his name, but I'm gonna have them go Asante Samuel Jr. And we did see how good Eric Stokes was. Eric Stokes was good in the 40-yard dash. Not even gonna try to pronounce his name. But Asante Samuel out of Florida State, he was very good. And I think he could make an impact because of the fact that Kevin King isn't good. And then Jair Alexander, he's a free agent next year. We don't know if he's going to come back. He probably will because of how young and how good he is. But Asante Samuel, I think he's still a great player, and I think he could play as a number 3 corner. The Bills at pick 30. I think the Bills, I don't think they go Travis Etienne right here because I don't think Travis Etienne would be good because they need a power back. And if Najee Harris was here, yes, they would go him, but they don't need another guy like Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. Sorry for the voice crack right there. I think it's not. I think it's necessary. If what could the Bills need? Let's look at the Bills' needs. The Bills don't even need anything. They could use edge because they could use edge. So let's have them go Azeez Ujulari out of Georgia. I think he's a great fit, and I see Kwity Paye going in front of him. Actually, dang it, I was gonna put Kwity Paye. I misclicked. Okay, I was gonna have them go Kwity Paye, so let's just skip the Bills. I would have them go Kwity Paye. The Bears right here. I mean, the Chiefs. The Chiefs need to go another wide receiver, and that's going to be Terrence Marshall Jr. out of LSU. He was a great option for LSU this year, and he was good with Joe Burrow. And I think I think the Chiefs could use another option. I mean, Tyreek Hill's great, of course, we all know that. But I don't think really Sammy Watkins is the answer. I think Byron Pringle is pretty good, but come on. And then at pick 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers are going to go Kwity Paye. And the reason why I have them going Kwity Paye is because Kwity Paye he's going to be an immediate fill-in. And when you think about it, they brought back Shaq Barrett, but Jason Pierre-Paul is getting up there in age, and they could probably play Kwity Paye. They could probably play JPP in the inside and play Kwity Paye on the outside. But tell me in the comments down below what you think of this draft. It's a little bit strange. I think it's a lot different than my normal draft. Of course, we have Elijah Vera. We have Rashawn Slater going here. We have Kyle Pitts. The trade really threw it off. And then Jalen Phillips, the shocker. I'm going to take a lot of heat for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.